First game here in Sacramento, in person. Yep. So, Dad, welcome. Glad you can come. Obviously, I'm gonna talk about Keegan in a second, but our guys played a good game, and they played a good game offensively as a team. One of the things we talked about in the first half was they had 12 second chance points in a half, and our guys went out in the second half and held them to 3 second chance points. So that was a significant improvement on the defense end of the floor. But going to the offensive side of the floor, obviously we had a lot of guys have good games for us. Just as a team, we always talk about wanting to play fast as our identity. On top of wanting to play fast, we want to be physical defensively. And then the last thing is playing together in the right way. And, that was evident tonight on a night that Fox was out, and we had 36 assists on 46 field goals. That right there is playing together and playing the right way. And, this group is connected. I've said it before. And, we need to go through adversity to test how connected we are throughout the course of the year. I'm okay with that. But for us to have games like this, it shows how strong our bond is with one another, and that can carry us through tough times in the playoffs. And so I know I'll continue seeing that throughout the course of the year and beyond. Now getting to Keegan, what a performance. He set all types of franchise records tonight. The first one, threes made, he had 12. I think Buddy Hield had 11, so he broke that franchise record in a game. Points in a quarter, Mitch Richmond had 25 points back in the day, and this is the crazy part. I obviously didn't coach Mitch Richmond here, but I coached Mitch Richmond in Washington, and then Keegan obviously now. But, Mitch had 25 points in a quarter. Keegan had 26 in the third quarter tonight. And then threes in a quarter. The previous record was 6. Keegan had 7 in the third quarter. 16 for 23 from the floor for 47 points. 23 field goals, and you score 47 points. On top of that, you take 4 free throws. That is insane. But hell of a job by Keegan Murray and his teammates for trying to find him tonight.
All right, Mike, of course you've seen a lot of this down south in the Bay Area, but do you feel somewhat like a Grinch that you took Keegan out before he could hit 50?
No, because, you're up 25 points, and if Keegan's on the floor and he gets hurt, half of the people that were yelling at me would be calling me names and calling me led by idiot. And then who else knows what would come after that. So, he had an opportunity to get 50. I kept him in probably a little longer than what I should. I ran him the whole third quarter and part of the fourth quarter. And then he went back in after they cut it to 20. So the opportunity was there, but the smart thing to do was to take him out.
Mike, you talked about the connectivity of this team. It looked like everyone understood that he was the guy tonight, and they fed him. How much is that part of the soul of what your team is right now, that you guys are unselfish and you're willing to allow someone to have a big night like this and keep feeding him?
It's huge. I tell you, Jay, it's big because, in a game like this, we're shooting 54%. The ball's moving a little bit. You could think, okay, I'm going to go get mine. I'm going to go get mine. But that ball, the way it moved with the bodies tonight at certain points of the game, it was beautiful. It was fun to watch, and I'm sure as a player it was fun to be a part of because there were possessions where different guys were touching it. But then, especially when Keegan was rolling, different guys were touching it, but it would find him. And I believe in the basketball gods, and I believe in the synergy that the basketball has. If you play the right way, the ball will find you. And I thought Keegan was playing the right way. There was nothing that he really forced. Our guys didn't really force anything to him. they just hit him when he was open. They tried to set good screens for him when they could, and he knocked down shots.
Can we ask your dad questions about you?
Yes, you can.
I'm just kidding. Kind of building off of James' question, to take it a step further, for Keegan having the night that he was having, it didn't seem like he should have been getting as many open looks as he was getting, especially after that big third quarter, and it seemed like it was because of how the rest of the team was playing. Can you speak a little bit more to what Domas and Malik and the other guys are doing correctly to make sure Keegan is still getting those looks?
The first thing is Keegan got some looks in transition, and, we preach, get to the corner, get to the corner, get to the corner. And there were a couple of times where he just put his head down and he got to the corner. And, Utah, they do a great job of mixing up their defense from man to zone to box and one to a matchup zone. And a way to beat that or to get an open look is to get down the floor quickly, throw the ball ahead, and shoot it. And Keegan was able to do that. Now, even moving forward from there, our pace was pretty good. Our pace and our spacing, everything that we preach, from pace to spacing to paint touch, whether it's a roll or a cut or a dribble drive, playing in the 0.5, which is getting off the ball quickly, all that stuff came to play on every single possession. And when you have guys like Domas that are a willing passer, when you have a guy like Malik that's a willing passer, it didn't matter who it was. Even Keon Ellis. Keon, as a young kid, he's a young man, he had 7 assists, So, again, it's a testament to all of our guys out there just trying to play the right way for each other, which is a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, Coach, it feels like since Keegan got drafted, there's been some moments where he's maybe a little hesitant. What does it mean that he was willing to get up 23 shots tonight? And do you feel like this is a peek into how good he can be offensively? Obviously, tonight's not exactly replicable, but.
Yeah, I mean, Keegan, he's, as you guys have seen in the short amount of time, last year he was strictly a three-point shooter. This year, even in transition, he's starting to bring the ball a little bit. He's scoring from the second and third levels now. He's playing a little bit of zoom action and or pick and roll action. And so just like last year, he got comfortable shooting a three. He's showing that he's worked hard in other parts of his game, and the experience that he's gaining while we're winning, while developing those aspects of his game, are only going to pay off in the future tenfold. 2, 3, 4 years from now, whoa. I mean, you're going to really see something out of this young man. And he's just barely scratching the surface because he's being asked to do a lot of stuff that he's never been asked to do at the highest level. And with his work ethic, his determination, his skill set and all that other stuff, he's got a chance to be a high level player in a lot of different areas. And everybody's just seeing a little bit of it now. So there's a ton of room to grow, for sure.
Mike, I imagine as a coach, it's got to be pretty gratifying to watch a young guy grow and develop. Like when you look at Keegan, the strides he's made, the kind of the fun relationships he's got with certain guys, and just, I don't know, where do your thoughts go in terms of how rewarding and cool that is to watch him do this?
Nah, it's unbelievable. It's cool. It's really cool, especially when you have just a quality young man too, and everybody on our team is of that level. But to be able to see his growth and him have a night like tonight and him set the 3-point rookie record last year, all that stuff is just it's a ton of fun. And his personality is what makes it even that much more special. I tell you guys, it was yesterday we were in practice. They were about to start practice, and we had just got done watching film, and we were about to stretch, and I see Malik and Keegan kind of, having a conversation, and Malik's kind of laughing at him as Keegan's walking away. So I'm like, "Yo, Malik, what's up?" He said, Mike, Keegan said he could post up." I said, "What?" I said, "Keegan could post up?" And Keegan had that little smile on his face, and he's walking away. And I was like, Keegan, wait. You say you could post up? He goes, yeah. I said, really? This was the best answer. I said, really? I said, I don't think I've ever seen it. He said, go watch YouTube. And he walked away. So I said, Malik, he told me to go watch YouTube. He said, yeah, you might have some highlights on YouTube. I said, what if I don't have YouTube? He said, all you got to do is Google it. You Google it, you can see Keegan in the post at Iowa. He says he could post up. So I said, okay, I'll see it at some point this year. So with his personality, to see him have this success, oh my gosh, it is a lot of fun. I mean, it warms my heart, and it probably does everybody else too.
Coach, it also has to be gratifying tonight to play with the pace you want, to get the 36 assisted baskets, all without De'Aaron tonight too.
Yeah, for sure it is, because Foxy missed some games early in the season, and our pace wasn't great. Obviously, we didn't score the ball as well when he was out, and so to score 125 points and play the way we did with that ball humming, the bodies moving, the spacing, and then, of course, the pace, not just in the full court, but even the half court, I thought our pace was pretty good, was a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, Coach Brown, just going back, to these relationships, De'Aaron and Keegan, which is, been talked about, most of the season about, they're engaging during the summer and working out and things like that. And it's really seemed like it's really been beneficial for both of them on both ends because, of course, their performance has increased. Just want to get your thoughts about having that type of relationship off season and then, it pouring into, the regular season and just blossoming.
It's huge when when you have a veteran, it's of the caliber that Fox is, take a young guy under his wing and say, hey, I'm going to help you get better. We're going to help each other. Come spend the summer with me. That can give a young guy a ton of confidence that working out in the gym on his own or working out with me or me saying, hey, you're the greatest, Foxy being with them, Keegan seeing Foxy work out, them playing one-on-one, two-on-two, spending time together, that speaks volumes, about Fox as him trying to develop as a leader and who he is as a person. But it can give an unbelievable amount of confidence to a guy like Keegan. And when you get to this level, in the NBA, sometimes everything is pretty even in terms of talent. The guys that usually separate themselves are the ones that have that confidence, that can miss 3 in a row and still shoot the next 3 and not even worry about the play before. And, when you're hanging with a guy like Fox in the summertime, that's telling you to a certain degree that, okay, I've arrived. This guy's taking notice in me. This guy believes in me. This guy wants me to work out with him. He wants to help me get better. He's there. He feels like I can catch up to him. All those things matter a ton on this level, especially to a young guy. And I know Keegan's appreciative of it, and we are too as a staff.
Coach, you've been vocal about the belief you've had in Keegan since he first got here and the player that he could blossom into, but when was the first moment you knew he could be special?
Summer League last year, just watching him in Summer League, and the biggest thing was just seeing he didn't get rattled at all. He just kept playing, and he kept trying to find ways to impact the game, obviously with the scoring, but, he tried to embrace the other little things, even though he didn't really know what they were at all times. But during Summer League, you saw some stuff in those games and even in the practices that made you go, oh, whoa, we might have something here. And he's starting to show everybody else. Thank you, guys.